Okay, so today I'm going to take you through this audit calculator. So we created this calculator because we really wanted to understand how a business was doing or an e-commerce store was doing as a whole, not just what a ROAS number is or one-off number. This is a full check to see how your company is doing. And it's going to look into revenue and then profit and then how effective the different strategies you're doing are, what sort of milestones or metrics you need to be hitting as a benchmark to be more profitable, areas of improvement. So do you need to increase your lifetime value? Do you need to increase your average order value? What is your profit per customer? What's your cost per new customer versus your total cost per customer? So there's all of these different metrics that you can use to understand like, hey, how is my business doing? Am I doing the right things? Where are areas of opportunity? Where are areas that I'm doing well that I should double down on? So ideally you want to do this every kind of 3, 6 or 12 months. And the goal here is to get some benchmarks and then compare your periods. So for example, we do this a lot on a quarterly basis. So every quarter we'll do it and then we'll see how we compare quarter over quarter to see if we're making improvements in the areas that we're identifying need improving. So what is essentially going to happen is you're going to fill out all of this information and it's going to spit out a huge page of results for you. So first up, I'm going to show you where to get this information from. It's super easy, super basic. It's mostly all information that you're going to get from your Shopify store or your Facebook ad account, or generally your ad accounts if you're running more than just Facebook ads, or you can get it from Google Analytics. If you're a little bit more advanced and you're using like a Triple Whale or a Northbeam, you can also get the data from there. A bunch of different places. I'll show you the basic ones first. So starting out, we're going to want to get order counts, customer counts, and then we're going to break down where our orders are coming from. So the best way to do this is to get your orders and customers from your Shopify store. So you can head over to your Shopify store and you can take a look at, let's take a look at customers over time, and you can see how many customers you have here. All of these are pretty much going to be under your analytics and reports. So you're going to look at customers over time. And then you're going to look at orders and all that fun stuff. So on the homepage, you're going to be able to get online sessions. You're going to get your total revenue, conversion rates, total orders is just here. And you're going to take all of that information and put it in here. So orders, customers, and then for this section here, for where customers are coming from. Now this is going to be rough and there's some notes here on where you can get this from. But ideally you want to get this from your Google Analytics. You can also head over to your Shopify store and you can take a look at your marketing and automations here. Marketing. And then down here, you can see this one here, view your channel report. You can also get them from here. And it will show you orders from all the different platforms. So you can get your numbers from here and you can enter those so that you get a total amount. Now, here is going to be the unattributed. So generally we bulk where our orders are coming from into ads, email and SMS, organic, direct, and unattributed. So organic means, they organically found you through Google search or a Bing search or Go Stuck, whatever it is. And then direct is people who type in your domain pretty much and go straight to your store. And then unattributed is people that we don't know. Now, ideally, you want to have your unattributed as low as possible so that you can actually understand where all your orders are coming from. This calculator is going to help you remove attribution and literally just get down to the nuts and bolts of how you are performing. It doesn't matter. Like you might be over-reporting your ad conversions, over-reporting your email conversions, or whatever it may be. But the fact here is we're taking all the orders and all the customers from the Shopify store. So even if these are overlapping, it's not going to matter because we are going to pull metrics just based off how much revenue and customers you're actually getting, no matter if some of these are over-reporting. We just use these numbers to get a few key insights as to like where your customers are coming from and look at it as a percentage. Now from here, we're going to go and get some store metrics. All of this comes from your Shopify store. Super easy. Gross revenue is going to be your highest. Net revenue is kind of like what you take home. And then your total revenue is a custom kind of metric that that Shopify has where it adds back in, your tax or your shipping, those sorts of additional costs that people are paying. You're going to get your returning customers. A lot of this stuff you can get from here. If you click on this page, And then say, for example, you want to take a look at getting all of these sales numbers. You can see here you get gross sales, net sales, and then total sales. And then we also take your discount, returns, and shipping, and we enter those in down here. Now, you're only going to need to fill out the white cells. These ones are the only ones that are editable. These green cells auto-populate. So already you can start to see some metrics coming back. So we can kind of figure out what our net profit is, what our margins are, and then we're coming down here what our COGs are. We're doing a COGs as a percentage of your gross revenue and your operating costs. So your operating costs are, things like your wages, your ad costs, and all that sort of stuff. Your COGS is what it actually costs to create the product and get it to someone's doorstep. So usually we benchmark these at around 30 or 40% of a business. And then you're going to kind of get your average COGS per order, and then your average, for this sake, let's make one of these a little bit different. Let's make it 35, just so that they're different numbers. Okay, and so coming down here, we'll get your discount and refund information, and then your store sessions. And then as we come down here, we're going to get our total ad metrics. Now, this depends on how many ad platforms you're running ads on, but you're going to get your total ad spend, your total ad revenue, total value, your average of your cost per click across all your platforms, click-through rate, CPM across all those platforms. Now, ideally, if you're just running like Facebook only, this is much easier to get. If you're running multiple, you might just have to get the averages. And then we also take some information to get your meta metrics only, because we're going to take a look to see how strong your ads are and areas of improvement. So once you fill all that out, you can hit show results, and it's going to pop up all of the results here. So all your ad metrics and everything here. So some of the important metrics here are going to be kind of hook rates, hold rates, frequency. And just to explain this table, this is the metric here. This is the explanation of what that metric is. This is the calculation that we do to get that metric. This is kind of some benchmarks. Now, we've done this health check on hundreds and hundreds of e-commerce stores, and we know all e-commerce stores are different, but we do try and put together some just general benchmarks, which we keep updating. And this is like just a good kind of starting point for you. Once you have done this a few times for your own brand, you're going to want to try and use your own benchmarking, because obviously your data comparing against your own data is much more accurate than your data compared to other stores. You can't always compare yourselves to other stores because all the products are different, all the stores are different, but this is a good starting point to look at. And then your brand results, what your numbers came back at, and then how to improve these. So if you find that you're not in the average or the benchmark area, this is some suggestions on how you can improve those metrics. So for example, on here, hook rate is great on these ads. So people are interested and they stop scrolling when they see this brand's ads. Hold rate needs a bit of improvement. So when we look at that, we're like, okay, first 5 seconds are great in this ad. We really need to improve the rest of the video so that people stay engaged and keep watching. Frequency is probably too high. So that probably means that we're spending too much money on remarketing, and we need to try and spend more of our budget on prospecting and bring down that frequency. Share ratio and save ratios are super important because that understands how much people like our content. So we can see here we definitely need to improve these. We want to be at like a 0.3 and we're at a 0.06. So we're definitely below on these two metrics. So we'd want to try and figure out, okay, what are people in this niche saving and sharing? We need to make content that fits into that while still being able to have a strong hook rate and being able to sell the product. Click-through rate is within range, which is great. Cost per click is fantastic. Revenue per ad click is great. We're at a $4.50, and ideally we would just want to be over $2.50. Revenue per session is also quite good. Ad conversion rate is quite low. We definitely need to improve this. This is a tough one because you do have a really high average order value on this product, so naturally the conversion rate is going to be lower. So just take that in mind when you're looking at your own store, like what is your average order value? And then that's probably going to reflect a little bit more on your conversion rate. So for example, high average order values, stores usually have much lower ad conversion rates or just general website conversion rates. So you can see that our ads aren't converting as well as our website. So we will want to try and improve the conversion rates on our ads. Taking a look here, our CPMs are pretty good, below $10. So we're pretty efficient with our ad spend in terms of CPMs. We just want to try and increase that conversion rate. So we might try and improve the targeting and then match the ads a little bit better. Here we've got our customer acquisition cost. We've got a cost to acquire someone as a percentage of our average order value, and then also as a percentage of our lifetime value. So we're spending about 30% of the average order to acquire that person, leaving us 70% for, COGs, margin, and all that sort of stuff. Down here, you can also enter info to get more. Okay. And then select this. And if you do fill this out, we can and give us your contact information, we can also set up a call to help you do this. I'm just going to do test because I'm not going to really talk to myself. And then, so this will unlock all of the features here. And so we got down to the marketing metrics here. So marketing efficiency, you might have heard of some of these metrics over the years of running your store, but ideally you still want to read the explanations and understand the calculations, but you can just kind of look at the benchmarks and the results if you don't want to get too detailed into it. But ideally, these are all different ways of looking at the performance of your store. So, marketing efficiency, MER is a popular one. So percentage of revenue that you're spending on advertising, 30% would be super aggressive. 20% is about average. Under 20% is definitely below average. But if you can make your store work and grow under 20%, that's fantastic because you're doing a lot of organic growth. This number will depend on how aggressive you want to be with your growth. So for example, high growth stores that don't want as much profit or margin, they just want to acquire market share, will probably have a higher MER percentage. Companies that are really just looking to maximize profit might grow at a slower pace, but have a much better profit margin and a much lower marketing efficiency ratio. Okay, new customer marketing efficiency ratio. So you can see, how effectively we're acquiring new customers. And then return on ad spend. This is kind of like a overall analysis of your profitability. And then same with profit on ad spend. So just keep a look at the benchmarks there. These benchmarks are really focused on high growth stores. So usually they're a little bit earlier on in their life cycle, or they're really trying to grow and get market share. Ideally, the higher you are, the better these numbers. Okay, and then order. So remember how I said, we're getting where the orders are coming in from. So that's where this section comes into play, and we look at percentage of our sessions from ads. So 73% of the store's traffic is actually from ad spend, so that's a high percentage. And then percentage of orders from ad spends are 47. And then percentage of orders from email is 26, which is great. Organic is a bit low, it's at 12%. Direct is 7, and then other is about 6. So ideally you want other to be maximum 10%. Otherwise you need to try and improve your tracking, whether that is using UTMs better, whether it's enabling server-side tracking, whatever it may be. But if you have a really high number in the other, it means that you probably need to improve your tracking a little bit. And then we come down here and look at paid versus non-paid order split. So it's about 50-50, which is pretty healthy. Over here, we can look at new customer revenue versus existing customer revenue. Definitely read through some of these. They're quite important to understand the difference and why it's more important to acquire new customers with ads and then get more of your returning revenue from email and SMS. We can go into that another day. Then you've got your refund efficiencies, discount efficiencies. So you can see, refunds are quite high here. So that's a bit of a problem that we'd want to address. Discount efficiency, not discounting too much, which is great. And then you've got your COGs and operating costs. And then this will spit out what your gross profit is and then what your net profit is. You can also edit these to try and get some predictions. So if you were to okay, well, this was my number when I entered it, what happens if my CPMs drop? Or what happens if my cost per click drops? Or what happens if my conversion rate increases? What happens if I double the amount of traffic I get? And so you can use this data as a little bit of a prediction as well if you want, or estimate for a future period. Just make sure you're doing fair period comparisons. So for example, like traffic isn't as expensive in Q1 and 2 versus Q4. So make sure that you're doing the right comparisons. So as I was mentioning before, really high average order value on this store. Orders over the lifetime. So we did a 6-month period. So on average, people are purchasing 1.68 times over a 6-month period. Pretty healthy LTV there, which is great. And then you've got some of these important metrics here. Now, one of my favorite ones and one of the most important ones is lifetime customer net profit. So this company is making $278 profit per customer they acquire over a 6-month period. So definitely take note of that, because if you're negative here, you really need to make some adjustments. Or if that number is really low, you're kind of like only just above profitability, then that's something that you're definitely going to work on. So ideally, the ultimate goal is to keep increasing this number here. Super important. And then LTV to CAC, things like this you might have heard before, but this is kind of like how quickly you recoup your money. And then total profits as a ratio. And then you've got kind of like your total profits for this cohort. And then you've got your immediate versus your expected delayed revenue. So expected delayed revenue means like we're predicting these people will make another purchase. But that's a quick rundown. You can also share this and grab the link for this. So you can share this with anybody, or say you want to share it with your marketing team or someone else that you're working with. You can duplicate this and share it. But let me know if you've got any questions. We can always help you fill these out. And I know it's very detailed, but this is a great way to understand how your business is doing, set some goals. So choose some of these metrics to set goals against, then do this in the next period and see if you're hitting those goals or not. Follow all of these suggestions as well if you're trying to improve some of these. Let me know how this goes. I would love to hear from you, get some feedback. Appreciate the time.